first things first, you want to prime your skin, just prepping your skin for a smooth, fresh base. And you want to make sure that your makeup stays on all day. So we're just going to prime the skin first. So after you prime your skin, you want to use your foundation. If you have uneven skin tone, then foundation is like the best thing to do because you want to make sure you even out your skin tone. So I'm just using the MAC Matchmaster in the shade 8.0, and I'm just trying to give myself a nice medium coverage. Now for concealer, you want to use 2 shades lighter or maybe 1 shade lighter than your skin tone. I found that when I mixed the NYX HD concealer in the shade Tan Bronze and the FAWN by LA Girl Pro Concealer, I found that it gives me like the best coverage and also it gives me like the best highlight. I found that FAWN was like a little too yellow for my skin tone, but the NYX one was a little bit too white, so I mixed the two to give me that nice highlight that I want. Some people find it difficult to find where to highlight and stuff like that. So pretty much like an easy way for me is I would take a picture with flash on my phone, and wherever you see that the light hits those areas, then that's where you want to normally highlight. So I'm just going to highlight underneath my eyes, on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit above my mouth and on my chin. I try not to go too heavy with the highlight because I feel like it's unnecessary. You don't need that much product on your face, especially now that it's spring and your nose getting hot. You really don't need that much product. So yeah, I didn't go too far back with the highlight, as you can see, because I don't want to widen my face. I actually want to make it look a little bit smaller. So what I'm doing now is just alternating between my beauty blender and my foundation brush and just blending out the harsh lines because I don't want it to look like I just slapped some concealer on my face. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to blend it out. So I pretty much use a damp beauty blender to blend out my concealers. I have found like this new way to blend out my concealer. What I do is let it dry a little bit, but not too much. I let the concealer dry a little bit on my face, and then I blend it out with a damp beauty sponge. I find that this, it just gives me like the right amount of coverage, and it doesn't look as cakey and wet. Now for contouring, I'm going to use my black opal foundation stick, and you can either use concealer, you can use foundation, you can use a powder, and I'm just going to contour where I normally contour, which is my cheekbones, around my forehead, and this is where the light doesn't hit. So you want to make sure you contour those areas where there is shadow. So when contouring, you want to make sure you use about 1 to 2 shades darker than your actual skin tone. And I don't like to go heavy on the contour because I think it's like pointless, because it's going to take more time to blend out. So I believe in a little goes a long way. So when it comes to contouring, I like to take my e.l.f. stippling brush and I like to blend it upwards toward the highlighted areas because I want to make sure my highlighted areas and my contour is blended together very seamlessly. So I'm just using that, and I'm going to buff it into my skin in circular motions, making sure that I blend it out completely because I don't want my contour to look underblended. I like to alternate between the beauty blender and the stippling brush because it gives me like a more flawless finish. So yeah, I like to use the stippling brush and the beauty blender at the same time. So what you want to do is always set your concealer because then you won't have any creasing throughout the day. So what I'm going to do is just set where you see I highlighted, which was underneath my eyes, my forehead, above my mouth, my nose, and my chin. And I'm just going to set those areas, and I'm just going to do like a semi-baking. And baking is pretty much when you let the powder sit for a while to make it seep into your skin, so that way it will intensify your highlighted areas. So I don't really bake my forehead because I feel like that spot don't get that much oily, and this is also good for those who have oily skin, so you can always bake if you have oily skin. So I'm just using the Laura Mercier setting powder just to bake, and I also use the Ben Nye, but the Ben Nye I feel like is a little bit too yellow, so sometimes I mix the two, the Laura Mercier and the Ben Nye Banana. Now I'm going to set my contoured areas, and I'm using the Shea Moisture foundation. I'm not too sure the name nor the color. I saw it in Target, it was on sale, and I was like, yo, let me get that. So I got that, and I'm just setting my contoured areas. Sometimes I don't set my contoured areas, sometimes I do. It all depends on my mood. So I wanted to do the right thing. So now I'm going to sweep away all this powder because we don't want to look like Santa Claus. So I'm just sweeping that away with my big powdered e.l.f. brush. And this is actually my favorite to sweep away powder, and it's very inexpensive. If you haven't checked out my favorite affordable brushes, then check it out. Check that video out. Listen, I am not big on nose contourers, so I am going very, very lightly. The same powder that I use to set my contour, I'm using this for my nose contour, and I'm just brushing it along the side of my nose very, very, very lightly because I hate to see harsh nose contours that look so unnatural. After that, I'm going to take my favorite, all-time favorite. Oh my god, I love this damn blush. It's from MAC. It's called Stubborn. I'm just using that to apply to the apples of my cheeks. I'm just going to smile a little bit and apply it there and brush it back a little bit. Next, I'm going to take my OFRACOSMETICS Bliss highlighter, and I am so in love with this. I got it in my Ipsy bag like a couple months back, and I'm just so in love with it. And this is what I'm using to highlight my cheekbones. So for the lips, I'm going to do a nice nude since I have like a lot of drama on the eyes. I want to tone it down a little bit. So I'm just taking this eye pencil. It's actually an eye pencil from KIKO. It's a dark brown. I couldn't find my next one, so I'm just using this to outline my lips because I'm trying to go for that perfect nude. And if you just put nude on your lips and you're a dark skin girl, it will look like you don't have any lips. So I'm just outlining this with a brown pencil. Next, I'm going to take the new NYX Lingerie Liquid Lip, and this is in the shade Lace Detail. And I'm just applying that where I didn't really put the brown. And I actually like this nude. It was actually pretty once I finished. I really love it. And it's very, very, very matte. So I'm just going to take my finger and just dab it to make sure that it is covering where I want it to cover. And yeah, that would actually complete the look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned a little bit of the techniques that I do and apply it to your makeup looks. And if you guys want to see a tutorial on this eye, then make sure you comment down below. See you guys in my next tutorial. Bye.